life, to a digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit. And
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, then left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We gotta protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. These Mola worshiping pedophiles wanna feed out children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Barter system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
we're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
All right, good snatch, good snatch, good snatch, good grab, bro.
Nah, bro. Come on, nah, bro. Come on. Nah, come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive. 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 Push up.
I do it die for Chi-Town, who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide out. Blue sky but high ground, a crown slash helmet. So my aircraft still spit, can't be tied down or even seatbelted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked it, caused my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust off on some ice and some veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, use a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly zone, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the silver hand, but we're Hiller man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow our set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do do more to scamper, need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dated space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the cage, face off. Actor shape the stages of fate, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing a step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, spray the adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel or fly bandit. Mohawk aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas carol lies what your fans get. Your worlds and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. That don't go for the traffic. That go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
Sure. Y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah. I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the shine spot. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying that ops. From the skybox, and got scope on you pilgrims. The spoke with some real ones. Some of our folks are still dumb. Yeah, and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real son. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID's no issue. Could've bloated in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech. Yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, one turn the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence. Mostly disguised compliance. Silence by clients from conspiring cannabis. Other aspirants of violence. Tyrants of fire. Trying to drain through hydrogen. I'm trying to defiant. In environments of migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hyping. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm non-client. My refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push all the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, or Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fat. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Akichiwa. Shines your symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, Draw. I had a vision the past night, yeah, a circulus round. Created successful reality from a virtual now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them same little sneaky breezies that'll hurt you. They smile all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bras, but dogs with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw magic circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fat checks purposely will keep me up calm. Water, fire, air, earth, turn me from that peace to a bomb. Blow the joint, the smithereens, the point, the sentiments. I've encompassed my inner demons. 490-degree angles guarded by angel of shiny elite angels. Thank you, and I of course am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well at least I'll fly in plain view. I am my circle, how I govern four corners. Wise as a serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place, in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was forewarned of us. I recall when bro and I spit flows, dope man fly in the shell at Southampton, kept smoke, stay high. Years later, he's the same degree, just gained density. Gave my synopsis, he's toxic. I prayed I could say I behave by locals. I've raised my moral ground, way high my character. Stay fly, the conduct squared up. Self-esteem, the day sky. New God on what the world's been waiting for. The days now. May I then I don't abide by the same ethics. They feign respect, yet obtain the credit for keeping the obelisk erect, but with strange ethics. But the epic of my name will reign and remain epic. Circumscribe my passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare I spit, but the beach churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kid there to try to eclipse my soul, bounce back from it. Announce it, I'm done with being the sacrificial lamb. The jungle, I run it, thus the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness the sun lit on you false lights. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors look the part, but just for show. Go figure, you dig, pounding you baboon or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hill track, no iller max than me. Master built her back, originally pretty. Take the mask off, 360 on my square. See the circle, if not your mask off. You poemish, dash your salt. The dialogue's trash talk, your past lost. Leave a footprints in the asphalt. You've an outline correction, last fall. I blast off, I crash off to the next zest of living. Sacredly sex some whose ass off. When she walked that ass off, I talk back to it like who makes your Yanni sing. Her response, she dons me king. To who they gave me the script, my ops the prescription. This is my vision's description. Listen, I'm standing on mine's my circle is me. I absorb your hate and make it work for me. Transform into fuel as I evolve. Advance this abnormal, dormant form and leave y'all right where y'all started at. Let me impart a fact. She'll be sitting in my ship as we chart the map. Thinking in destiny, the turtle and the hare. Acknowledge me as the circle and the square.
Y'all ready to get it in?
Yeah.
Circle and the square, huh?
Now watch time and space rock the great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, waves the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate, patriarch. Most social media saviors I face, marks once we make knowledge what is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, waves the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate, patriarch. Most social media saviors I face, marks once we make knowledge what is when the rhyme and bass drop. I rose up, took a shower, purified my auric field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown chakra core and heel, pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for.
What's going on? Hey, what's going on, beloveds? Yeah, y'all just saw me. I just took two NMNs. I'm only taking it because they're saying it's this. I'm gonna give you, for those who don't know, NMN. I have two different kinds. One was sent to me by somebody, a good friend of mine. Said, "Hey man, try these." I took it. I didn't like it, or maybe my system was going through something. Yesterday, my body was so sore. I was gonna come on a read, but I was folded up. Like y'all don't know how I work out. Like I still curl 30 and 45 and 55 pound dumbbells, even though I don't bring them out of the closet. I just keep the 30s, 10s, and 15s. And sometimes because my history, I will lift. Like people think that we get slow. I can still go run a marathon. I'm fast, like very fast. I'm 58, and I mean, I beat all, most of these cats, and there are guys who practice all the time, running around. Hey, Red, what you doing? I'm walking. How far you walking? Just a mile and a half. You just run like the 20. Yeah, I'm not doing that now. It's called joints and cartilage and stuff and things that go click, click, pop. You know what I mean? Anyway, and so they'll jog and they'll be running, and sometimes I'll run with them for like 4 or 5 blocks, and they'll be like, "You're not even barely even breathing, dude. I just ran 4 blocks, man." But then I do what's called forced repetition, like forced breathing. It's the name that me and a few brothers who ran with me when I was on the res, when I got myself back up to running like 25 miles. I had to start running like 1.5, 3 miles. Like that, I couldn't go further than that here because I just hadn't ran in so long. And so, and this is like a year before I was poisoned. And I was still teaching Kung Fu and Tai Chi and Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu on the res. I was teaching an amalgamation of what the kids wanted to learn. And katas, everything. The Mormons like love the katas. They just like all, and I was digging into bags of katas, But to have that road work, I was like, I would like to be able to do that again. So I'm using my electric stimuli, my TENS units, to attempt to stimuli cartilage, where cartilage is no longer in my wrists, my knees. I have cartilage. I don't need knee replacement. My toes don't have no cartilage between the bones. And some people wonder how I walk. What's the pain like? I said, if I took my toe and put it in you, you would probably be in the emergency room and don't want to leave until they either cut it off or something. And they're like, it don't make no sense. Well, then there's people who have the same issue and they're walking with crutches and canes or in wheelchairs. So when I say you're powerful, it's not a game. But with the NMN, don't worry, just pay attention. I am a storyteller. It says anti-aging. I don't give a about aging. You don't die and you're not aging. That's the narrative they created. And we'll get into that part of Tulsa and everything else. Metabolic health as far as improved insulin sensitivity. Now, y'all know I check my blood and I'm not diabetic. But every time one of us go in there, they want to make us diabetic to get us some metformin or that new crap they got. We don't need that. Just like I had to break down this one doctor, we metabolize vitamin D different. It doesn't float around in our blood. You know what I'm saying? They made sure they're dumb, okay? As far as mitochondrial metabolism and vascular health and blood flow. Women, NMN. As long as you get a brand with a substance income, I'm not saying China has bad stuff, but on the market here in America with this fake government that's doing their best to tear you down by these Gujars, you're gonna probably get the bad stuff. So make sure you reach out to Black Force, call them, do a 3rd and even 5th, trial. You know what I mean? Look at those people who do those 3 and tests. All right, to make sure they're getting the most purest, because the food grade is not the greatest until we come together. Okay, and we what they call breed out the significance of the toxins that they've created are bred in, and that means you might be, so for you like eat bacon, it might be a couple of years without bacon until you get the right one that has no more in it. Just like growing fruits and stuff, forget all the spraying they do. We're not even worried about that. All right. I'm not giving it power, but to have the appropriate apple back to the size it's supposed to be, where the seeds are more, as they should be. Okay. Then it says cognitive health for those of you who have a hard time here, and that's because a lot of you are still doing your barbecues. You go into things where they're cooking with aluminium. I call it aluminium, but y'all call it aluminum, which is, I don't get that, but aluminium. Okay, and a lot of other plastics, and there's a number of PFAS they're starting to admit to. And this was done intentionally, but that will mess with your cognitive. That's why you say, you cognitive dissonance anyway. All right, and it may help reduce stress as well. So heart health, because you got to remember, NMN, which is nicotinamide mononucleotide, something like that, whatever the heck, right? I think it's a natural occurring substance in your body, like DMT. You know what I'm saying? When you come in this world and they say when you leave, you're supposed to be able to tap into it in your REM, in your sleep also. That's how you're able to see things and have an understanding that there are things you don't need to mess with compared to the things which you need to be, and knowing and being calm and settled. Okay? So it's a naturally occurring in the body, right? And in some foods. So which foods? You got to look it up. Look up what foods have NMN. Don't mean to OD on it. I'm just saying. Because remember, a lot of things out here are processed. You're not going to get, like you don't get good minerals, you don't get good vitamins. And they did that on purpose. This is you need to listen to me. Okay? So even as far as the metabolism, because you know, most of the toxins, like leaky gut, that stuff goes in, and you know where it goes to with those toxins? Right into those crevices that hold, like you say, stored fat. It's supposed to be stored for later on in the afternoon, not later on 20 years from now, but to metabolize that. And that's why keto is actually good for those who are still into eating meat. I'm really plant-based. Y'all know I did the little steak stuff, and I still will enjoy a steak here and there, but I'm not big on eating living things. My body's a little different, so just is. But y'all need to know these things. These are important, okay? You can look at the science. I'm not big. I think every scientist needs to be rounded up and summarily court-martialed or general. I'm serious. Because everything they do is for this lying government. As you can see, Tulsa in real history and ongoing. So pay attention to the story if you can. So NMN, I'm reading this verbatim, is generally well tolerated, and human studies have shown that doses up to 1,200 milligrams. Let me get the ones that I have you show you how much milligrams. I don't, even though I do a load for like a week, then I do like every other day, and then I stop, and then I go back half month down the road. Excuse me. Okay. And I'm getting ready to take my sea moss, but I didn't even want to take my sea moss because this sea moss makes me nauseous. And sea moss usually doesn't do that, but it's a strong mineral. All right. As I was saying, I do like 5-day load, and then I do every other day for like a week. Then I stop for 2 weeks. Then I go back for the next 7 days. I do a load, 2 pills, 7 days. Then I go to every other day. All right. So that means like after 7 days, I skip a day, go, skip a day, go, skip a day, back to the load cycle. And this is one that I use. I've got quite a few of these. I need to throw them away. That's why I'm also going through picking up stuff I don't need and throwing away in the bag over there. But this is 1,000 milligrams. That's per serving as far as 2 tablets. And over here it states 1,200. So I actually was doing 1 tablet a year ago when I first started using Black Forest. But before Black Forest, because they just came out 5 times Beverine, and I looked at the studies on that and I like where it's coming from. But the other one that I like, what has the third-party testing, is Ritrovan. So you can get the transresveratrol and the NNM. Now, it's based off a source alluded to being somewhat synthetic, but not. As far as if you need energy, I don't really need this. I haven't taken them. I just looked at them. Okay, I looked at them and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? So, all right, they're all in there. I looked at them. I have another set of these. This is the ones that my friend sent me. I guess maybe he ordered them to send to me, and it probably went twice. I think it was a one-time thing. So he hasn't hit me up. So I have 4 bottles, right? So you have the NMN. This is the other brand, okay? And then this is the resveratrol, I believe it is, okay? So I'm not going to use those. I'm pretty much Black Forest, the only one. There's other ones out there. I'm not attempting to get all into it. Now, until something else comes out, because during the pandemic, they were really doing their best to shut down the production of this stuff. And they had succeeded in a lot of places where when I was ordering my M&M, it was brown box, if you know what I mean. Literally, okay? So why am I using it? Heart health, and because it's the mind state, and because of my cartilage, my joints. The VA is going to lie. They want to give you pills, stuff that they say medicine, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give you a good diet. They want to give you that messed up food chart as if everybody in the medical industry is stupid. I'm not with that. Now, the other thing that I like to take, which I really don't, my testosterone is pretty damn good. For those who don't know, what did I? Oh, here it is. So I have 3 different forms of Turkistrone. I was utilizing this when they had put me on the VA in Kingsbridge, VA hospital in the Bronx, New York, had put me on androgel, and I was like, my testosterone ain't that bad, man. I'm skeet, you know. Anyway, I got married, man. You know, she couldn't have a baby though. You know what I'm saying? And I had a baby. You know that. You know, and put me on it. I was like, and then all of a sudden you have all these heart conditions. I jumped off that crap so quick. I said, y'all trying to kill us, man. I remember saying that at the VA, and they was like, well, maybe we need to go to another VA. So I went to that, and they same thing. I said, no, you all the same dumb bastards. And see, I talk that way to them. Because that's what they are. This whole system is a gag. It's felonious. So that is the other one. So I get these in 3s. I get these, and actually I have more. I got about 10 of these. I got about 40. I ain't gonna tell you how many of these. They ain't none of your business, because it comes monthly. You know what I mean? So I don't really take them all. The berberine, you can read up on that, what it does. It's pretty good. I prefer like if you feel like you're sweating tonight, I prefer to get up, make myself sweat more, and just jump into some cold water. You know, take a cold shower, and if that don't work, oh well. I'm not into running to places where they just want to jack you up, you know, and everything is kill, kill, kill. All right. So, with that being said, for those, if I think I took a pill or something, and I take an iron, a chelated iron, chelated copper, and zinc. And those you got to eat, because they will tear you. You'll have leaky gut, and that stuff will get in and mess you up. Because if you get a leaky gut, you know what that means. I would advise you to look into it. It's real simple. Read it. Takes a few minutes, and you have a little more insight, and that gives you a little more balance. But and you got to remember, I'm eating once or twice a day. I'm not attempting to lose weight. I'm attempting to allow a reset, and the reset really only happens when you completely fast. And there's some people that know I fasted for 7 and 10 days, and when you're around unhealthy people, don't do it. When you to yourself or those who are like-minded, do it with them. All right, do it with those individuals. Do not take it upon yourself to go out here and just start buying a whole bunch of crap. I have people that have sent me stuff. I would expect y'all to know the things I like if you wanted to mail me something, like that stuff right here. It's the stuff is sourced out of China. I have nothing against the so new age China. I'm not sitting there risking the more foolish narrative of the world we live in. I mean, it's just for $1, you know. Okay. So what I wanted to get into, excuse me, what I wanted to discuss, you saw what happened. I put a post up about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and some people were really pretty kind of teed off. What people don't know about is Sarah Page recanted what she said about the young man. But you got to remember, these people in Tulsa, why is it that nobody ever paid attention to how these pale skins who were getting off trains and boats on the fake West Coast, who were moving down there? It was the government. When was the government hijacked by the Gujar? When they murdered Lincoln, right? Foreign entity, as they've done everywhere. All right. Now they tell you 20 blocks of over 300 people, and they would just bury them in mass graves, and they got foreigners. It's always a pale skin pulling up bodies. You know what I'm saying? And it's derogatory. But I wanted to point out Sarah Page, born 1867, passed away 1960, something like that. Anyway, I want y'all to look at a picture I have of her, all right? I want you to see this. I have it on charge because it was getting down to 37%, and one of these charges is acting retarded. I want, and those who know, and those who don't know, well, you just don't know. I want to show this. Let me see if we can turn this sideways. There we go. Awesome. So Sarah Page is center. Okay? And she's young. Right there. They have other pictures of her. As you see, the man who look like a Mongolian or, a Gujar. That's how they look. Okay? And you see what he's wearing. so-called from New Zealand. After they conquered New Zealand, a lot of them came here, and some of the ones when they conquered Australia. She supposedly was born here. Okay? They say she's a Catholic, blah, blah, blah. Well, mama's a Jew. I'm not going to get into the pappy. You already know that. And why am I pointing this out? I am tired of these church Negroes with this 2 survivors. One passed away a little while ago at 102 years old. Right? I'm tired of these Muslim and these church black Negroes. You know when I say that's with disdain. And they worthless so-called attorneys. Because the government, so-called, were deputizing and handing out rifles to these foreigners who weren't even born here to go in there and ransack that place based on a lie that is well known and documented, even by her. They even have pictures with her sitting with little melanated children. I'm not going to get into the significant other of hers, all right? They went in there because what y'all don't know about, what you don't know about, these sick bastards. I'm not giving them no energy, what you don't know about. This thing's moving slow. I don't know what's going on. I guess maybe they want to interrupt the internet. Okay. So what you don't know about, and I'm going to read this. One of the worst race riots in the nations. Now, anytime a sister reads this, and I hope they come across this video. Sister, stop reading the history, you young ones, with your little fake out of Africa, African-American black bull BS. Stop. You know, I'm going to start making sure people don't buy none of your material. The only people that buy into your stuff are the people who got a fake history, who call themselves white, who don't know no better. And those worthless Negroes who are Masonic and everything else, who have sold themselves and attempting to sell the brothers out and don't know what's waiting for them at the end of the road. When everything you think is going to happen. Anyway, one of the worst race riots in the nation's history occurred in Tulsa over a 14-year period, Red Week, whatever. Period, a 14-hour period on May 31st, June 1st, 1921. Dozens of people, this is right after the so-called World War I. Dozens of people were killed, hundreds, dozens. Hundreds were injured. It was worse than that, and thousands were left homeless. You see how they downplay it? Dozens of people were killed. This is why no Negro or no Jew or no pale skin need to tell our story, especially when my ancestors know all about it and I know about it verbatim. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to read it. And thousands were left homeless. Most of the segregated, they say black. That's a disregard and a disrespect by ignorant Negroes and dumb pale skins. Okay? Black district, known as, it was not called the Black District. That's the bastards who was using that because they want to rewrite history. The people knew who they were. Known as Greenwood, except for the children who lost families and everything else in the disarray that they had to build it twice. Anyway, known as Greenwood was destroyed. Although the riot itself lasted only a few hours, its repercussions are still felt today. Now, the Tulsa of 1921 was a humming, bustling place that reveled in the title oil capital of the world. Why am I saying that? Because you think they just destroyed the city. No, we had oil, not just rubies and gold, to which these fake Jews stole. And they had sitting there with these fake ass liberal racist monkeys talking about in Oklahoma and these people playing our people with a fake identity. And in California, nah, we're not giving it. No. Because, first of all, if you was really African-American, if you ever look at this video, they would have taken all their weapons and their powers, which they really didn't have. Okay? Because you don't know how it would stop. And they would have deported all you monkey so-called African-American black folk a long time ago. Y'all are some of the dumbest people I have ever met in this world. Listening to Goofy Umar and this so-called fake Seminole sellout Masonic Negro and down in Oklahoma who laughs and jokes as if it's some big thing, like he's a real historian, that when I approached him and said something on TikTok, he ain't have nothing to say. Just like worthless Negroes I grew up with, talking about them Masonic and Shriners, and they walk around with the little apron like they hair them up, like they know what they doing. We got people that talk about the Emerald Tablet who don't have a clue. The most wonderful brother I've ever met, Earth Speaks, when he broke down the tablets, told they deciphered it. First of all, you need to look at the people that said they deciphered it. It's the very people that own African American and called you black dummies, who charge the Mongols and the mongrels who now run around as natives and so-called white. No hate to all the pale skins, you know, but you need, if you feel some kind of way it means you. That run around and do things that never meant to do. Why would they have to do that if they didn't have that? Because you didn't build it. That's like somebody saying, I didn't know the brother created the monorail. The monorail. We made the steam locomotive. We made the steam engine. Like, you go back watching them all the Wild West movies, that was to attempt to redirect and recreate another history that never existed. The Wild Wild West didn't exist. Nobody tamed the West. Wasn't no Mongols or kept people rocking around and Abs running around. Other than Wild Bill Hiccups, Wild Bill's Wild Wild West show, who was a Shriner and a Mason working right alongside the Rockefellers. All right, whose job was to import these people and promise them land. If you look up the word nativity, native and the reservation, you would know this. It's not just to go and be seated at a dang table. But see, they won't argue with me. Well, he's got to be Spanish. He's got to be. Shut up. I know who I am. And those identities have nothing to do with the truth of history unless you want to stay in the language of the enemy's narrative. Y'all don't even know how to export your energy in the proper place. That's why you don't attain and ascertain anything that makes sense. The delusion is strong in many. It said delusion. It said delusion. Now let me carry on. I'm so tired of these worthless Negroes. Anyway, it had earned the name by making itself into the finest. Listen to this. It was a humming, bustling place that revealed in the title, Oil Capital of the World. It had earned the name by making itself into the financial, manufacturing, and transportation hub of the great mid-continent oil fields surrounding it. From barely 1,000 inhabitants in 1898, it had grown to more than 72,000. That's a lie. It was over 5,000 up to 100,000. It was more than that. Tulsa's country's population was about 110,000, making it the most densely populated and fastest growing country in the state. Listen to this. County in the state. Most Tulsans were native born and white. Surprisingly small number, fewer than 1,000. Most Tulsans were native born and white, and a surprisingly small number, fewer than 1,000, identified themselves as American Indians. About 9,000 were black. Lies. With most of them living in a community centered on Greenwood Avenue, northeast of downtown Tulsa. You got to remember now, this is how many years after the so-called Trail of Fake Tears? All right. When people were said, in order to do this, that, you got to do this and that. Who remembers that? That when they were doing censuses, you couldn't claim this or profess that because of not the treaties, but because many people decided not to fight. So they took those individuals who did not fight and says, look, we're hunting them. So you don't get hunted. You got to identify as black. All right. Or colored. And the people are like, oh, yeah, we're not fighting. Oh, of course. The engineers, the greatest people teaching these monkeys who were coming over here. As I stated, 1920s and 40s, they would just fly from the 1896 all the way up, just flowing in here by the millions. That's the real slave trade. Okay? Facts. All right? Anyway, and those who claim to be American Indians were the pale skins who were encroached around our people who took the identity for land. They couldn't even build the land. They didn't know what they was doing. They didn't know the first thing about nothing. Study the real history. Look at the maps. Look at the land and everything else around. These people lived in squalor, throwing pee and poop out the windows, even though we made commodes. All right? Anyway, living in a community centered on Greenwood Avenue, northeast of downtown Tulsa. Most black Tulsans worked as laborers and domestics, but a substantial number were teachers, lawyers, doctors, and other professionals. I told you, 1920, about that time, my great-grandmother passed away in the 80s, in her 90s, and worked at the Indian training schools for a handful of years. She got tired of it. She felt like they were stupid. They would never learn our way. Well, obviously, you see, they incorporated that crap from what they was passed down by the older youth who then weren't murdered in the new boarding schools, which was reformatories or psych wards that were actually our own ancient homes and places of designs and everything else. All right, most of these monkeys don't know that, okay, because their world is Hollywood. All right, other than those who are gathered together who work to destroy and then subjugate or incorporate the world you had created and built. But then when you start talking about airships, you know, the bicycle, the original creator of the car, the two brothers who built the car, the little girls in them who remembered the stories about flying and flying the airplanes, that the Wright brothers didn't create the first airplane. They reverse engineered something they had no idea about, listening to the melanated people in the Carolinas. You want to challenge me on this? They were the first ones to get it right, besides, I think, someone in France. Okay? Tulsa, like the rest of Oklahoma, was racially segregated. Greenwood had its own schools. It was the best thing. It should have stayed that way. Its own post office substation, its own police station, and its own branch library. It also had its own thriving commercial district, which Booker T. Washington had called Booker T. Washington, the Black Wall Street of America. Another sellout nigger. Only 2 decades earlier, I don't like the word nigger. I don't like it anyway. I think there's some pale-skinned girl that was you saying it, you young one, thinking it's supposed to be all right. And this punk so-called Officer Tatum, he's like, yeah, I don't like it, and I don't think no one else should be doing it. But she pointed out a good fact that if these goofy Negroes, it's funny how so-called Mr. Officer Tatum can't even break down the fact of why they're saying it. Because in the 80s and 90s, when we created hip-hop, when we was rapping, because rap is nothing new, we weren't doing all that cursing. We were sending messages until these Jews took over and started enticing people with drugs, women, and everything. I mean, remember the Sugar Hill who aren't even MCs, you know, dancing and all. And the first thing American Bandstand is all a bunch of pale-skinned girls standing around because they wanted to steal that. This is not hate. This is talking about how you get to a certain place. And if you can't handle that, then maybe you shouldn't be talking about nothing. Now, so-called, the push was we took over the word nigger, right? And we took the power from it. First of all, I asked you to study about the Digger Indians in Nigeria, which this was not, and the story behind that. But you got these guys get a platform, got their little pale-skinned wife, that's all fine and dandy, right? Who just get stuck up because they're sitting around smoking cigars, probably get drunk, drinking that whiskey, talking about, God, I hate this, because there's a lot of officers I know that talk like this. God, I can't stand these black son, man. And they pretty, you saw what happened to the one and the one sheriff down there in Texas, right? How they got that old worthless nigga out. He couldn't stand his own people. He'd kill you and bury you in the backyard, he would. See, this is the problem with the world. We got these idiots who don't know nothing about history, who get propped up with a few worthless ass dollars and think their life amounts to something, and they really don't know what they're playing with who they're playing with, and what field, and what's really out there waiting. But if they knew, they would stop. And we don't want that, right? Like the monkey in that truck. Anyway, right? Only 2 decades earlier, Tulsa had barely mustered the 1,000 inhabitants necessary for incorporation. For incorporation. 2 decades before that, it did not exist at all. Tulsi. Tulsi is based on a people, and it ain't Mongol, and it dang sure ain't no pale skins. Tulasi. Why don't y'all look into that? Our old town, right? La Chapoka Creek Village. Creeks were not pale skins, and they damn sure weren't Mongolians. During the civil, right? Anyway, village established in the 1830s. Wonder why. Near present-day 18th Street and Cheyenne Avenue, disappeared during the Civil War. In 1879, incorporated. Well, not by the narrative of corporation, but they had to fight the war on their land. The first official use of the name Tulsa appeared on the U.S. Post Office operating out of the Perryman Ranch headquarters near present-day 41st Street and Trenton Avenue. Modern Tulsa, though, began in 1882, always in 1882. In a small tent city sprang up around Atlantic and Pacific Railroad where it met the Arkansas River. But there was a railroad, you know what we created, right? Not only the switches and electric and this, that, and the other. Not even just the switchboard or electric switchboard. The steam engine. That's right. The boiler. That's right. Spark plugs, the igniters, the elevator. Matter of fact, the brother was from Tulsa. Who wants to debate and argue with me? Where the trolls at? I want y'all to come back. Nah, come on. Y'all don't have to read. I'm well in depth on my land's history. With the fake kings and queens running around and the people and them playing with the black arts, summoning things that aren't meant to be summoned, not knowing there are things that have always been here that they're blind to. All the technology and the bombing and blowing up. You see in Phoenix, right? You got little idiots running around throwing bombs on people's porches. The discovery of the Glenpool oil fields in 1905 fueled Tulsa's ambitions. Subsequent discoveries in the surrounding countryside transformed Tulsa from cow town to budding metropolis. It's funny, we had the biggest metropolis. With World War I came a great surge in demand for petroleum products. War was to be able to tear away the fabric and the foundation of what sustained us and incorporate all this foreign crap. And then we had to educate them, and they can't even maintain that because there's plenty of things I know about these monkeys don't know about. I don't say that with hate. Yeah, your monkey in a cage, you don't want to be free. You know, maybe you need Xylex, right? Spray and you can go out and be like Planet of the Apes or something. But anyway, as much as 20% of the oil powering the Allied armies passed through Tulsa's pipeline terminals, refineries, and rail yards. Some $36 million in building permits were issued from 1917 to 1921, with such lasting landmarks as Central High School, the Exchange National Bank, First National Bank, Cousin, City Hall, Mayo, McFarland, St. Clair, U.S. Post Office, and Atlas Life buildings completed or started. You know, in the post office, you didn't have to pay. It was free, as it is still today. But you know, they had the hoodwink. You just like you go to work. They make you sign this W-2, whatever, for the IRS. They tax you there, illegal. Then they tax you on top of your tax. When you cash a check, you got to pay a couple of pennies. Then when you buy something, you tax. I mean, come on, y'all. On a dollar that ain't worth shit, that's debt. And you didn't create it. After they robbed all our gold, all our land, and everything else, and they want to make you sick and die off as if you would remember, having the knowledge that you might start waking up and remembering. Now, there's going to be those people who fluctuate and move differently, and they argue and act differently. I said don't give them no energy. And they like a fart in the wind, literally. You won't even smell them, okay? The cricket that took off, or the grasshopper, or the cicada that was in your direction, and the wind said, not today. You don't give it energy. You don't attract it. Tulsa politics could be bumptious, and the electorate was more or less evenly divided between Republican and Democrat. Who created the Democratic Society? Who were the original Republicans? Are you aware that most of those pale skins were Democrats? Look into it. And with city elections held every 2 years, changes in administration were frequent. In 1920, real estate attorney and former municipal judge T.D. Evans, a Republican, was elected mayor on a single plank platform to push through a bond issue to pay for a reservoir on Spavinaw Creek, 90 miles away, and a pipeline to bring fresh water to Tulsa. And you know who he was, right? And do I need to actually tell you? Yeah, one of them. 3 of the 4 city commissioners elected that year were also Republicans, and they were taking our position. They were changing the manifestation, right? All the way up until you get to L.B. Johnson, you know, that bastard, all right? But that's where it was all starting. It was getting on a roll. And who do you think was in charge of the government at the time, and who was giving people rifles, who sent out the biplanes, whatever, to drop turpentine bombs and TNT? The government. They supposedly were supposed to be deputizing people to stop the rioting. No, they was in there being told and guided to go, and you can have this partial land. But we had people who were there in World War I who fought back, and you never see that story, and whooped a whole lot of day, but they won't ever tell you that. They want to instill fear. They want you to be comfortable in your ignorance. And y'all think it only happened once. Boy, Hollywood done a number on y'all, hasn't it? Anyway, the recently hired police chief, John Gustafson, was a former railroad detective and private investigator whose appointment had been opposed by Tulsa County Sheriff William McCullough, a former cowboy with an elegant handlebar mustache. McCullough has served as Tulsa County Sheriff off and on since statehood and had been returned to office in 1920 after the incumbent, Jim Woolley, failed to prevent the lynching of a suspected murderer. Now, they say a cowboy. The only cowboys were Negroes. Crime and law enforcement were important issues in Tulsa. Less than 2 weeks before the riot, Oklahoma Assistant Attorney General Catherine Van Leuven led an investigation of the Tulsa Police Department that revealed a poorly trained and sometimes corrupt force so ill-equipped it did not have a single reliable automobile. It's still the same way today, but they have reliable vehicles. Obviously, y'all idiots are paying for it. When officers need transportation to crime scenes, they were taken in private cars driven by volunteer citizens. You can't make this stuff up. During the course of the investigation, a Southern Methodist minister named Harold Cook touched on underlying racial tension. An open proponent of vigilantism and unabashed racist, Cook complained bitterly of blacks and whites drinking and dancing together in roadhouses and speakeasies, and of black porters in cheap hotels acting as agents for white prostitutes. Now, in Tulsa, as in the rest of Oklahoma and throughout the United States, race was an important issue, which didn't happen until after the World's Fair because all these people wanted this land. You wanted identity, as you see today. Many states, including Oklahoma, tried to keep blacks, the original people, I'm going to start saying the original inhabitants of this land, from voting and restricted their activities, sometimes through so-called Jim Crow. We're the original Republicans. Jim Crow laws, and sometimes through intimidation increasingly. Now, the original people of this land resisted discrimination, and from Washington, D.C. to Chicago to the rural Arkansas deltas, racial conflict degenerated into deadly armed violence. Though far from ideal, Tulsa was considered a better place than most for the original inhabitants. Besides the thriving business district, Greenwood attracted a relatively large number of doctors, lawyers, and teachers. Its schools, though poorly funded, were exceptional. The Tulsa Star, a lively weekly newspaper edited by A.J. Smitherman, promoted independence and unity and exhorted original people to stand up for their rights. Yeah, you know they're always going to have the one little goofy Gujarat sitting here, I'm hurting people, and some of us may get sacrificed for the better cause, and some of them actually mean better. They're tired of everything that's happening because they believe in their live existence. And then you have those of us, because at that time, if you call somebody black, and this is what I'm talking about, they cut your throat. Well, and when they got tired of it, it became colored. Are y'all aware of that? And then when there came along thousands of FBI, these little sellout Negroes who started pushing, and even from other lands, not just the Garvinites and this goofy Haile Selassies, while we were over there saving the dummies in Ethiopia, right? We was over here, yes, that's right, from Italy. Teach them how to fly. They couldn't even do that right. Well, it's a fact. I don't care. If you don't like it, then go on about your business. Don't come over here wasting your time. Stay away from it. I'm about facts. Hard argument facts that people can't even put together. Because you know what? You're consistent in the narrative of stupiditude and dumbitude. And that's the majority. My family, I got a whole bunch of dummies all over the place. And they offended when you call them dummies, but they won't look up the word dummy. Nor stupid. Because it's offensive. But they want you to believe in, this white person can be black today, this black person can be white, the girl can be a dog, and it can be a cat, and it can be a cow. But what's wrong with the original people being the original people, autochthonous? Oh, that goes against the credo. Oh, and we're the only ones that had a right for self-identification. But you still have a fake government with a bunch of sellouts and Gujar puppets and everything else because they know what you're capable of, and it's only these monkeys who don't know no better. They don't tell you what to think. They don't tell you what to say. You don't parlay in the politics of their politicking. And until you realize that, you'll read idiots' writings who don't know what they're writing because they won't reach out to, oh, I was talking to the people right there. And there's a whole lot of folks in Oklahoma who are just dumb as rocks. I've been there too many times. And they even said, well, I'm not debating you. Well, that's one of them movies. They just stupid all over. And the people get comfortable because now they got an end. They can look a certain way and their house looks a certain way. So that way they can be a certain way. That don't mean nothing to us who are original of this land. We don't care how you live and who you think you are and your grown little inaptitude is fraudulent history. It means nothing. Is my super chat on? Well, I know I got people that ain't really about that, but I just want to make sure on my Cashapp. Because ain't nobody donating except for Homeboy. And I'm like, come on, guys, what is wrong with y'all? Matter of fact, I got a yellow slip in my truck that I picked up at the, I got to go over there and see what I got over there, y'all. So anyway, nab Negro from attacking girl in the elevator. She recanted it, okay? Now, another thing I wanted to pull up. Let me see here. All right. Yep. All right. So I want you to look at these pictures, okay? Seeing how y'all know what an African is, right? This is what these dumb niggas, these Negroes. I'm not calling nobody no African American. You can suck my anyway, right? This is supposed to be African Americans. They're not mixed. That's supposed to be an African American, original what you call it? I look like my relatives. That's supposed to be an African American. Yeah, these are the ones that were murdered. That one, he just disappeared. He was a minister, a preacher. African American. Because why? He has fat cheeky jaws. You know how old he was? Yes. They found he died somewhere, I figure 1950s. I forget where. You can look up his name. When you go on the pictures, you start doing history. I got a ton more pictures. And this is what I'm talking about, the hypocrisy of the world they've created. I don't say nothing but hateful feelings and emotions. And the reality is, y'all allowing this. How many of y'all literally talking to your sons and your daughters, to your nieces and your nephews, telling your brother and your sister to shut up, they don't know nothing? How many telling your mammy and pappy, when did y'all get off with this nonsense? Where did it come from? What preacher was it? Is it still alive? I want to go talk to this old black son of no. I want to have a word with this. You know what I'm saying? Because you see all the ones in the big limelight, they all shutting down. Creflo Dollar, TD Snakes, all of them. Even Benny Hanna even came out and just, they got where they're comfortable. Except for that one that do look like some damn lizard. Anyway, I put him on a rotisserie. But anywho, chill, right? And nobody's saying nothing. You still got sisters in Jersey and New York posting the stuff like it's good information. I like the message. Don't shoot. Man, get their message. You got your own message. Most people don't want to look inside. They want to keep looking outside themselves. You dig what I'm saying? Remember I was telling you a story about the girl and the people in the parents' house that's got a litter box, a box she goes into and like literally pees and poops, and they change it for her. She crawls around the house eating out of a bowl, calling herself a furry. Oh, you don't, man, listen here, bruh. How do you think you rewrite the world that you destroy? You have this implementation of an idea that you want to destroy it based on wars. But if you look, they love fighting each other. They just love fighting. They don't know why. You know why? They're missing something. And don't nobody say soul and this, that, and other. Stop being just dumb. They're missing something, and I can't tell you. It's as simple as truth. Yeah, it's just that simple, truth. That's all. They have been living the lies. I was watching this little Russian woman talking about we need more black folks to come to Russia. Now, that's a Gujar right there. So they can put you on the front lines, okay? So you can fight. The problem is, she act like there's never stuff about the black Russians. Says the original people on the land were Abkhazarians. And the night of the long sword, you got rid of those that didn't mix or didn't pass. Stop being, and that was based on what the Gujars did in every continent they went to, unless the ones who were forced to go away. The first segregations didn't happen here. Now, some people are starting to realize that, and they're starting to wake up. People like me, I'm saying, okay, Ukraine and Russia's fighting, and What it'll lead to, I don't care. If you're so stuck on wanting to give it information, and send that information of your energy that way, go ahead and be dumb. You create. You literally create. All right? I'm getting tired of telling you this. Okay? And you need to know that. That's a fact. They're not going to tell. Why would they tell you the truth when all they're doing is lying to get you destroying everything? Just lying and lying and lying. You need to sit down and have a talk with your parents. I don't care how much you love them. The word love means evolve, and it doesn't mean evolve. It means evil for those who have a hard time, because V is not an original word, just like S isn't, but and F and a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, but you have a hard time knowing how spells work. And I tell you, don't start studying the stuff. Enochian, angelic. Don't start studying the stuff. Don't mess with it. Sometimes you need to learn how to listen. Now, I'm not going to tell everything, because then they'd be like, which I wouldn't really care anyway. But y'all need to really understand this. Now, you got a lot of people y'all following Facebook, this, that, and other, and they run around, Emerald Tap, this, that, thoth, and that, and don't have the first knowledge of any of it. This rekindling and spewing rhetoric created by the enemy. Don't know what's real or not. What I'm going to tell you is your energy, because of your complacency, is being used to formulate and create all this despair, and you are allowing yourself to waddle in it. That's why I see these little monkeys running around talking about black power. I'm like, do you know what dead power? Like, they don't even know what they're doing. But they're following somebody who probably walk around with a plug up his behind like Diddy did. Yeah, Diddy. That's, some of these sisters who are just flagrantly just the worst things, just about fake power and control. And some of you seen it. You've seen the sisters that get up and walk around. They got the bullhorn, the black, the African. You look at all these niggas walking around talking about black gun owners, Black Panther, new Black Panther Party. But when you go to them and say the Black Panther Party, so-called, was not about being black. That was to uplift the people, because it was a narrative of foreign agents in there pushing it. But it was nothing to do with that. They know who they were. But that's why you had the Muslims take over and new Black Panther Party thing. What a disgrace. The damn Black Panther ain't even indigenous to Africa, these retarded Negroes. Some of you signed on in ignorance. I know. It's no hate. But I used to go to the things and listen, because my pops and them. They was like, ain't my father. What is this Africa stuff? He used to be laughing about it. And even there's still some old heads around that say, man, we don't know. And I'll talk to them. But man, I'll tell you, when you start becoming and doing delusional stuff, you bring it upon yourself. You accept anything anyone else says. Real disease shit. Excuse me for that. Hold on, man. You want to see the universe? Then look in yourself. The brain orbits right up in here, right? In the fluid. As above, so below. Water's above, water's below. You go to the bathroom down there, you got water in your head. I mean, listen, look, I know 33 vertebrae, Jacob's ladder, the ascension, descension. Where's the purification? How do you reset? All that stuff lost, but they want to keep poisoning you with chemicals, fluoride, chlorine, PFAS, all kind of stuff. But you don't want to see no different. You just want to ride the free ride, and ain't nothing free. In your narrative, and that's why I like to see when people come with that black and African American stuff. I'd be like, if you don't get your goofy self up out of here. And then people say, well, the etymology, that's right, you believe in conspiracy theories too, created by the very people that it's not even about like or hate, who have been pitted against your goofiness to make sure you don't know nothing, and if you say too much, to deal with you. Well, for those, you know what I mean? Y'all have no clue. These bastards are attempting to beat something that they know is coming, and it's going to shut them down. And I'm telling you, there is no way for them to stop what's coming. They cannot escape it. And if they listening, listen real closely. I don't care about calculations, who, what, where, what you're bringing through again, or what you think you're bringing in, or whatever, or what people's energy, because I'm not giving you none here, what you're compiling and what they're creating out of their ignorance. It ain't stopping nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jay, what's up, beloved? Lord, what's going on? Y'all just popped up. Let me hit the all chat. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, beloved? Delusions, Snoo. I saw you early, baby. Yeah, for the world to see what's happening. Old Mac, Marcus, Lloyd, whatever issue. What's going on, beloveds? Hey, I'm Baby Real Slaughter, original Republican. I expressed to her that talk after work, but she held firm her family's heritage as a Confederate. Thank you for breaking it. Yes, we're a Confederate. We're the original ones. We had no pale skins for on our side. We had the ones who belonged to us, the ones who grew up with us, the ones who came from us. I had a good friend tell me that her family fought in the Civil War in an attempt to redirect me to tell me that I was wrong about the Civil War. I attempted to explain to her that our people were the original Republicans. I expressed to her that we would have to talk from my family's heritage as a Confederate. Thank you. Yeah. If she a pale skin, she's delusional. You know what I'm saying? No, she's delusional if she don't know. She's more on made up stuff. You feel me? T. Hines, what's up, beloved? Just want to shout everybody out. You people do it in the beginning. I ain't on Max V. What's happening? I hope y'all sharing this out so people will come on in and tell them, hey, come and have a seat. Unless you're scared. Somebody sit there and they want to go, oh, but humbug. Let them. All right? Guarantee you. When they see it, it'll be like a brick hitting them in the head. Let me see. Continue anyway. That's what I thought. Anyway, I was feeling under the weather. That's why it was a weird feeling going on. I know it was my soreness. And when I say sore, y'all. And so I was like, you know what? I went upstairs like 5 to 6 o'clock, climbed up in the bed, took a cold shower, right? Climbed up in the bed, drawers on, laying there like, I think I did a little something. I was like, man, whoo. Now I feel a little better. I'm about to make me some, don't eat wheat, right? But I got some good stuff. Blueberry pancakes with peanut butter. And, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to have just one, maybe two, like small, you know what I'm saying? And right here, in case you don't know, this is goji berry and ginger. Very strong, good for your gut. I could pour in a glass to show you what it looks like. I actually made this around 4:30 or 4:30 this morning. Well, this a.m. It's strong. And it's good. So I'm gonna run out here and take this yellow slip, see what I got waiting over at the PO at the post office. All right, and I appreciate you guys, man. We don't have to curse. And I don't like the word nigga. You know, it's the N word. I don't like any of that. I don't like this. You know, when you start teaching people who created the races and identities, when you put the time and period when they do it, people start realizing it all happened at around the 1800s, and 1800s was the reset. That's why they had the Crimean War, the war that was what wasn't, and that was no wars before that. Everything else is a made-up history, a lie upon lies. We had peace for so long, and people now are running around. And it's funny how everybody's supposed to have an identity, and we're not supposed to unless they deem it. Some sellouts, and most of you see them. Isn't it mind-boggling, but not mind-shattering? And you don't debate and think hard on it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. What was that? Yeah, Marcus, tell him where you're from. Shit, I know where you're from. That's what we do, brother. He's asking you. He's asking where you from. From this land, right? Jay's in Texas. Where you from, Marcus? Right. I know the Kakalakis. I know, but man, Ashley, that's all you had to put up, brother. I love it. No, man, this is what we do. This is how we do, and that's a beautiful thing because sometimes, and see, this is where most people get complacent. We're all related. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit you in the gut with something. Stop asking people, unless where you're at right now is one thing. Stop asking. You're all related. Listen to me. I don't give a damn how you feel. You're all related. Bottom line. Bottom damn line. You're all related. That's it. Okay? I don't care if you say, well, you know, I was born in Soweto or Nigeria or Ghana. Yeah. Do you know the history of those places? That's for the people that call themselves African. Because, see, it's always the ones that come from there that come over here and say, I'm African. I just call them, no, you're a dumbass. Because I know people over there, when I went there, and you call them African, they put you in some ties and set you on fire. It's the new generations after these wars that are bought into the Dutch fake Gujars and them other German Gujars and all the ones on that land that they rightfully the heirs to that have no clue about the truth. And thank goodness I know my brother Bowman and all these other brothers from Morocco who knew this. And it's these new generations of dummies come over here, they doing the dances and stuff, don't even know the words. And then I showed a brother from Africa on Instagram, I shared a video with him showing how people doing that dance and how the pale skins started taking it and using it, and they thinking it's new. You know the dance where they feet go on the side and they doing dum. We had people doing that back in the 1890s and 1920s. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, I know, because you got a whole bunch of our people over there, and they look totally different, running around, speaking with your accent and everything else, and they don't even know that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations ago, they people went over there, the first exodus from this land, and they built up a whole wealth of communities on that so-called fake-ass West Coast. And they be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Yes. I don't sit there and debate with those who don't know nothing. Yeah, we don't get their energy. We know it. We know it. Teach children. And those around who will listen. And those who won't listen, well, let their energy be sucked away and make something that... Because let me tell you something. You need to internalize yourself. You need to focus on the inside and pay attention to your brother, your kindred, your sister, to your bro and sisters. You need to know the reality and stop accepting the disparity of the lies. Now, I will utilize anyone when I'm talking about in this playing the field of knowing and not knowing, who say things, and I see them as the hypocrites and the ignorant individuals they are. Okay? And I'll speak on it. Because you know what? I get tired, like I said on Facebook earlier, I get tired of stupid people. Now, I don't say that with maliciousness. You're stupid, you're stupid. Because everybody's heard something and they've denied it and they've doubted it without doing any research. Now, for the ones that did, those are the ones that are highly enlightened. Those are the ones that will be the peacekeepers, will police the system, will set things back in order. The rest of them, fly by wire, Peter Pans, Cinderellas, Cinderfellas. Just, and they think where they at and who they are, what the little things they've accomplished, with their arrogance and ignorance, is supposed to be meaningful. Okay. I don't have time to debate them fools. Not at all. Y'all remember the one picture showing my uncle and me standing there when I had my locks? I had trimmed them at that time. That was over in East Orange, New Jersey, off of Washington Street. Well, he has a house in Colorado. He's been there for some time now, a decade or two. My cousin Junebug, Bumblebee, Reggie Lee, he had his house built there, and he's a diesel bus mechanic. He's a mechanic all the way around. I think he can build a bus from the ground up, a car, like all of us. Anyway, he's got a house there. He'd be heading up there to Colorado. Y'all, the smart ones leave the place of despair and lies and negativity. The ones who are who've capitulated and stuck, well, they stay there. You know what I mean? How can anyone have hate? I know y'all heard me say that. I'm asking a real question. I was going to put it off. How can you have hate? Now, if you attempt to legitimize that question, you need to go on back to kindergarten somewhere else. How can anyone have hate? Any of y'all ever looked up the word and its origin? And even go farther than that and look further in themselves and then address what it is they think they hate, and then take the word and marry it, and marry it to it to see if that's really what it is. Well, if you do that, then you might become a little more enlightened and realize it's actually nothing to do with hate. The first thing that you address is the feeling and emotion, the drive. What is the factor that stipulates such a thing if it's supposed to mean something to be so bad? A little tea for you, okay? I'm stubborn. I'm a very stubborn, that I can admit to. Yeah, boy. And y'all cannot understand the levels of stubbornness. Boy, I'm not talking about selfish and controlling. No. I'm just stubborn. Not stuck. Stubborn. And I have to be. But look into it. So whenever you heard me utilize this, because I only utilize it because you understand it one way. But usually it's not what I actually mean. Okay? Now, y'all told y'all before, this is what I do. Now, either you pay attention, there ain't no circle jerk. I'm pretty much on cue with me. All right? So I hope that was a wealth of knowledge. I hope that you got something from it. I hope you take it and you can really get further deep into it. These poor, beautiful people who survive, who are children. This fake-ass government who wants to blow up and kill and destroy had a heart. They said no. But then you don't look at the faces of the individuals and see the context of the character and to see the people around them who just go, and bow to every whim. A bunch of cowards. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't use the word love, Jay, but yeah. We're all connected internally. We have a lot. We have a lot to ascertain. We have a lot. I think one of the greatest things ever expressed in a movie was by Denzel Washington when his son was standing before him. And he said, "Do you think I'm supposed to love you? No, I'll give you a roof. I'll make sure that you're safe. I'll make sure that you have food on the table." He didn't hate him, but it wasn't about love and hate. The word love, I already broke that down. I'm going to repeat myself. If you reverse it, it means totally opposite, just like Santa Claus, Satan's Claus. See, these words are meaningless. You don't, when you're connected to people eternally, and it's an eternal bond, those words are meaningless. Because everybody says they love, actually hate each other. That's why I say it's important to learn what these things mean and stop giving the energy to things that are meaningless. We are kindred. See, because when you use the word love, it makes you think you have ownership over some dumb stuff. When you have hate, it compels you to act a certain way when neither one of them, there's spells. Now, I'm going to break it down again. Start studying these things to be self-affirmed and know these things that they're unrequired in life. Now, yes, I'm stubborn. Just like that. Okay? Fences is the name of the movie, yes. Okay? So, let me get off of here because I'm hungry, but I want to check the post office. And I got another book or two or three. They didn't. I got a call. And so, I told them, look, man, y'all got the books. I forget what it's called at UPS. Something flow. Anyway, the books may have come and sitting there to be sent back. So my boy hit me up and says, "Red." I said, "Why don't you put it on the truck and bring it? You got to come here, man." What's it called? Short flow, whatever it's called. Y'all, for anybody ever work with UPS or they have that little thing where it can't go to the post office because I don't know. It's a weight. I don't know what it is. But I could get a shotgun through the freaking. But anyway, so I got to go head over there in tomorrow morning and see if it's sitting there in the corner Just like when I got my Tronus sneakers and stuff. But I'm gonna go over here and see what they got. Come back so I can make up my pancakes because I'm hungry. If you want to donate $1 or whatever so we can get some more books, cool. Where's the other book? Where's it? It's upstairs. I'll show it later when I read. I had another book I wanted to show you that I had picked up last week that I forgot about. Let me see which. Let me go here. Why do they do this? Hold on, guys. Let me get up off of here. I know, what is today? Wednesday, right? Oh, I hate those things. Okay, so it didn't sign me in. I don't know why it didn't do that. It's supposed to have me, keep me in there. Okay, there we go. Keep me. And, okay. There we go. 4. So, the Ultimate Guide to Rebuilding Civilization, it's $119. I ordered it. I ordered it Monday. Okay? And I actually had 2 of them there. I was actually going to do a gift for somebody. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the month if I go ahead and do that. I might get it, another one, and just gift it to somebody. I didn't use y'all's money. I used mine. All right? Like I said, there's a certain group of books that I want to order from one place, and I was able to get these books from one place. And yes, it's Amazon. Don't go too harsh on me, because all the books coming from every other place, and the place that I got these books, I don't like that. Amazon, I know exactly when it's coming. I can watch it when it comes in and not have to worry about a week later and all that kind of stuff. So the other ones I told you, I ordered from 4 or 5 different, because I wanted to try something, not just thrifts, not just Abe's, but other bookstores that there's a ton of them. So, and then I had a book come from France. So that book is $119. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I put another one in there. Important message about items in your cart. Let me see. Okay, that one changed prices from $18.99 to $19.22. This is ongoing. This is ongoing, bro. They always doing that, bro. I'm serious. I get notifications up here all the time. Sometimes prices go up like $2, $3, y'all. For real, like. I ordered some more, and just in case, I told y'all to get some of these. Okay, I want you to see this. You can get a set of 3 for $18.99. See how they just tried to hijack? Like I give a damn, but they goofy selves. Get you some tourniquets, okay? They're a little cheaper right now. Notification from YouTube. Get you some of those tourniquets, okay? I've ordered so many of them, and they ain't stopping shit. Hold on, stay right there. Stay right there. Cheap. If you don't want to spend a couple of dollars for a goddamn couple of books, at least maybe you'll pay $20 to have 3 of those tourniquets that I showed you. And if you want, you can also go ahead and order some of the carrying things that you can put on your belt. You can carry 2 on your belt with a med pack, like the ones that I have, all my my utility or weapons belts. That's what we call them. The other one, I actually got to send that one back, so they're going to send me 2 black and 1 blue one. Blue and black is going to be like vehicle ones because of the heat, and I ain't going to worry about them torn up. I like the desert color ones. Let me see. I took those 2 upstairs. I was down showing somebody a couple of the carrying ones for their, because they got themselves a plate carrier, and I was showing them how they can hook it up to their plate carrier. That way they can access it. If say you have an accident and your arm's missing, right, like right here, and it's bleeding, but you got pressure on the main artery where it's not bleeding out too bad, so you can get it on there. And I was showing them how to actually slide it up on there and pull it tight, and how to twist it down and lock it in. And then how to administer some other things like quick seal, stop bleeding. It says these things you want to keep in little medical pouches. Somebody asked me this. So you always see me with these, right? I have red, blue, I got all these different colors, right? So excuse my hair. I know it's crazy, right? Hat on. So my earphones, I take this. I don't care if it's hot or cold, okay? So watch this. Now, I have baklavas. I have the face ones. So this is what I do. Now, these right here, this is a level 4 ballistic helmet, right? I have another one. I don't like talking about everything I have that I bought at a place. I didn't order it. This one right here, I have a ballistic shield front that could take a heavy round that I could put on here just in case. And it's quick and easy for me to share. I have stuff, all the connections for nods and everything, infrared, whatever, battery packs, blah, 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 blah. You know, I have all that. But with this, I bought another pair of the Walker headphones. But the ones I got is like this, the radio, where I can hook up the mouthpiece and all that kind of stuff. But this one right here, if I don't have the time, I can just go ahead and take this. All right? Something's happening, and I know that I'm going to be shooting if I don't have my phone things on. Because this goes in here, it wires in. But I just go ahead and throw it on top of my head and then pull my helmet down. And then I'll go ahead and seal it up and then get it in. But most of the time, as you see right now, it's kind of tight. Because loosen up a little bit. Because somebody was asking me a question, I said I'll show everybody. Okay? All right? Now, it's better when it's inside. You gotta excuse that. It's better when it's inside it, but it still goes down and this goes over your ear. All right. Now, there's better ones that go for this, but you can go ahead and keep it simple. That way you can go ahead and fasten it. So you can, in a rush, get it on and, go about your business and do what you got to do. All right. And it ain't really heavy. Well, at least not to me. Okay. And these right here are not the ones that are going in here. The ones I got upstairs are flatter. All right, they're flatter, and they last a while. I can hear the decibels cut out. And so how much are these? Ganja, how much did you pay for yours, bro? But they're good. They're great. Good protection. All right, so this is the real one. You can get it with the mesh if you want the mesh. I don't like the mesh. I'm talking about breathing. I don't care about all that. Protect my head for a little bit. A couple of skips and stuff. It ain't gonna stop everything, but it's a little security. You know what I'm saying? Got to get some scrim for your helmet. All right, Lloyd, you gonna get the scrim? Yeah. All right, I hear you. I ain't big on it. But like I said, this one right here you see up here, I need this up here because somebody was stealing it. I wouldn't care. This is an airsoft. Now I told y'all I've got some hardener and I got I got the stuff to make this stronger, and I was gonna do that and take it out and just go up to like a 223 and see how it would perform by putting about 5 or 6 layers. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but you can take the airsoft. This is the plastic. This is airsoft, y'all. This is not the real thing. This is for like people like me that like to do airsoft, right? Big damn difference. Okay? Big difference. Alright? But if you can afford it, go ahead. What was that? Got to get some, yeah. Doing their chaos causing, exactly, brother. Effects, individuals first and kids. Yeah, effects, yeah. That's depending on whatever one you get. There's a whole bunch of different kinds out there. As far as the military mind, yeah. I keep it kind of simple because people don't know all those nomenclature. They don't know all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Helmets, breathers, whatever you want to put, vent if you got a hard time, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm looking like a little Chicano. All right, pull it off. So I keep these, but I also always keep baklavas in my car, and sometimes I keep one folded up to look like in my wallet, like behind my wallet, just in case. I don't, because of the heat right now, we've had 3 digits. I won't leave stuff like that because this right here in the heat will crack real quick. And I'm not going to be sitting here rubbing oils and petroleum and all that, which will break that down. But oils, certain oils, they keep those protected and safe. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, how much did y'all pay for your helmets? Ganja, you still here, nigga? Did you come in and go out, boy? How much you pay for yours? I know a lot of people got helmets. How much you pay for your helmet? I don't know how much they are right now. I'm not going to go looking for it. All right? And also, make sure that you get a decent pair of gloves that you have dexterity and you can manipulate. Here it was like $250 if I recall. Oh, you got it on the sale though, because you know those things run for like $700-800, bro. You know what I mean? Because he got a good one too, y'all. So it was probably, was it at a gun show, bro? Because I remember I asked you before. Okay, yeah. So yeah, and then if you get one used, you want to make sure there's no defamation, the what you call it, of the material, the composites and stuff. You want to make sure. You know what I'm saying? No batting gloves. Just get you some good. We go with mechanic gloves, stuff like that, or you get some with the knuckles and stuff like that if you want to, you know. But I go for the ones that have dexterity. I actually have the old pilot, or what they call the helicopter, the crew, or cockpit or pilot gloves. You know the green ones we cut the 2 fingers off of. Usually we cut the thumb and the pointer off. But I like these. I can actually do it. I can deal with these without having to cut my fingers off unless I really want to have that trigger feel. But I've got a whole bunch of these and I really like these. You know what I'm saying? And it's the ones I run with, because if you're running a barrel, you don't have a foregrip and everything like that. The barrel can get hot, especially if you're running a barrel that can get down for a little while. It's going to get hot regardless. And you're not going to be running around with big asbestos gloves and this and that. It's good to have a set of gloves. So that way, in case you have to do a barrel change, if you have that kind of equipment and stuff, you're quick. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is to get you one that you can hear it, where it cancels out at a certain, at 20-something decibels. That way you can still hear everybody talking to you. You can have this set up where you can put the mouthpiece in and all that kind of stuff. You got the external thing. It takes a little 9-volt battery. It's good stuff. I've had these for years. That's why I ordered the one that I got upstairs that I'm going to put in this. That's going to be permanent. It's thin. I can hear, blah, 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 blah. The mouthpiece. If I want to get the throat module, you can order that. I'm not going to do all that. It ain't like we running around like a team. You know what's funny about America having all these guns, right? If the Pale-skins were so smart, they'd be training with all the people around them. And they're not smart. They think having guns means you can protect. If you don't know how to move together and operate together, that's all I'm going to say. Okay? You got a lot of people in the special forces, these young people who are ignorant, who got out, and they're in their 40s now, maybe, you know what I'm saying, but 30s, whatever. And they know this, and they want to make $1 and make a name. The ego's too big, and they don't know that America's a place. And they see the enemies and everything. Now, I ain't talking about the ones that's playing a part. You would think people would be more conducive in retrospect, but people are stupid. So what would be the fall of America? Well, what's going to be the fall of this fictional America? Well, it's because of the Pale-skins, their ignorance and everything else that comes with it. Listening to, picking and choosing people based on numbers and this, that, and other, when numbers and all that don't mean nothing. That's the world that they created. What you want to do is get that one guy that just came out the dumpster, who has a good attitude about him. He probably could tell you some stories that you never heard of, but the reason why they don't tell some stories is because there's nobody who wants to inquire who has no knowledge of knowing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I appreciate you guys. What was that? Proper education is always correct errors. Yes. What's going on, Jay? How you doing there, Charles Johnson? It's good to see you. Anyway, let me get off of here. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I said that was before. Let me go out here because I want to come back and get something to eat. Damn, I'm eating late, y'all. God dog, man, for real? 12:50. Okay, let me get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys. You know I'm eternally bonded to y'all. We're going to get the read on. Let me run around, do what I got to do, and we'll get it shut down. We'll get it set in. Already. I'm not talking bad about them, man, because you know what? Like I said, there's a whole... Not every one of us can be heard by everybody, and then they learn what they learn, and they accept what they learn because they got a bunch of dummies around them, so there's nobody to fear different, and so people just accept where they're at. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a world right now where they accept where they're at. People are admitting things, this, that, and the other. And though people are paying attention, most people are just comfortable in that world because it's just the way it is. You dig what I'm saying? So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Catch y'all later.